Oh, what are you showing? You're not being on the Star Wars figure. Thank you so much. We're right on schedule. And instead of taking a break, I would much rather go right into our prepared speeches because we have two amazing speeches that is coming up. I've been a Toastmaster since 2011. That's wow, 11 years ago. But he was so humble. He said he needed practice for speech skill. On his YouTube channel, Mongoose Max Hawaii. Wow, I need to look into that. He will add the odd paranormal video. Now we'll give him a non-pathway speech to cover that topic. Under the venue of Spook 101, he will present his new scientific support of a well-used paranormal hypothesis meant to inspire the audience to think in the twilight zone between reality and spirituality. We will address the basic question, what is a ghost? Is a main modern ghost theory supportable by scientific logic, or is it a theory? It's just a con. Well, Keith requested 6 to 8 minutes. I'm not sure he had 16 to 18 minutes, but 6 to 8 minutes. Yurika, can you please time him for 6, 7, and 8 with your colorful demonstration? The title of his speech: how does one measure a ghost? G-H-O-S-T. Let's welcome
Hey, thank you, Dr. Ken. Good morning, Toastmasters. Welcome to Mongoose Max Hawaii, the channel. And today we're going to have an episode of Spook 101 because I see dead people. Actually, I see white people, but putting that primary mainland election off to the side. What I want to talk to you about is like the little paranormal stuff where all those people are hunting ghosts. They're going all over the place with all kinds of beepity beeps and these kinds of things. And I want to show you a couple of things. One is I want to show you a question. What are ghosts made of? Because if we think if there's a ghost, then there's an afterlife. There's an optimism. Thank you for the word cue. I have a place for that. Then when I look at this, I see a couple of science. Okay, there's a couple of science things. So don't, a little spoiler alert, a couple of science pieces in here. But I'd also want to show you about these little toys. Okay. So first thing I want to talk about is theory. Now, there's a ghost theory. Now, this word is often misused, I think, a lot because when you look at science, we want to go to the science of the parascience, the paranormal, normal being nature. What can you observe scientifically? So when you look at the science, a theory is a hypothesis that has supported evidence or it's proven to be false. Some theories are false. Some theories are true or truer because they have support, some scientific evidence. And that's what we want, evidence. And that's where in these ghost hunters, they go off on their little spooky things and they want to find evidence. And they have these little toys or whatever. I call them toys. They're evidence. Well, are they evidence? Well, that's what we're going to look at. So when we look at a hypothesis, I could have a hypothesis. My neighbor has cats and they're all black. Therefore, all cats are black. And then I see a calico cat. Oops, there goes that theory. So we're going to approach it a little like that. Some of these things are not proven. This one here, let me introduce you to this little toy. This is called the K2 meter. You might see it. If you ever watch a ghost hunting show, you'll see the K2 meter. This measures disruption, you might say, in an electromagnetic field. So electricity and magnetism have a connection, and this will measure disruption. Right now it's at green, which is like nothing. Now let me show you something else. This is a proximity meter. If you get near it, it will signal. I just noticed something about the proximity meter, which I just discovered this. Look, I have to touch it. I have to touch it with my metal container, but if I get close, just close with my hand, it'll go off. And that's pretty interesting, actually. So this EM2, and also one more toy, which I set up here. This is the cat ball, the famous cat ball. You turn it on, cats play with it, and it moves, and it lights up. But I'm going to stick it in this little area here. It's not moving. It'll light up for about 8 seconds and then go off. Okay, we got our toys all set up. What are we looking for? Well, we're looking for electromagnetic stuff, which brings me to the question, what are ghosts made of? So they say, and you'll hear this, the theory has it, or the theory says, much like commonly here, we're made of balls of light, we're made up of energy. So therefore, if someone goes into the afterlife, they also are made up of this energy. What is the energy? Electromagnetic? Well, that's the theory. So if I do this, it heats up. This is not a ghost detector. This is an electromagnetic thing. If I put a magnet near it, if you see that, if I put a magnet near it, it goes off. It's just detecting the magnetism. Uh-oh, I'm haunted. I don't know what happened. It's broken. So when we have that, ghosts are made up of electromagnetic energy. It brings me to this wonderful aspect of, are we really measuring ghosts? If the electricity's on, if my fan was on, this would be going off. This is nothing more than a stud finder. This is a carpenter tool, a stud finder. When you click it, a little battery goes off, and I think there's a stud, if you can see it. There's a stud somewhere right there in the wall, and they find that. That's not much different from this. Just if you're going next to electricity will create magnetism, a field, and it'll start to go off. So are we measuring ghosts? Well, the theory has it that we are conservation of energy, which is a real scientific theorem, which is proven and accepted in actual science. The conservation of energy used to be the conservation of mass, but it expanded into conservation of energy. Anything within a system or a frame, anything within that, here, let me better explain it with some visual aids. Say you have a picture. See this picture? Now you don't have a picture. Now anything within this frame is the system. This was system. Everything inside it. You could say this is the universe or your room, but nothing will pop into existence or go out of existence. It just doesn't happen. But if something looks like it disappears, it's someplace else. It could have transformed. Even as Einstein has us now up to that level, matter can turn into energy. So a little bit of matter can turn into a lot of bit of energy, or black holes. And you can ask Stephen Hawkins or whatever. But things don't just disappear. It's conserved. Something, if it's an ice cube, it'll turn into a puddle. There's always a conservation. So if we're living human beings, and then there's a process of death, what's afterwards? Well, glad you asked that question. What happens when we die? Well, we all know that we're 70% water, right? Did you know that we're 60% oxygen? Because we're 70% water and it's H2O. Oxygen is 16 weight to one thing. So there's a lot of, we're made up of 60% oxygen. But if we were to take all of that out, say for example, cremation, how much does somebody weigh after cremation? Well, talk about 5 pounds, plus or minus. So basically, I'm a 5-pound pile of dirt without the water. It's like, wait a minute. That's it, though. So after this decay, there's still something left. The water dispersed or whatever went away, but there's still about 5 pounds of dirt. of me. But what about the electricity that went through my body? What about we're a bag of water with an electrical factory going on. When we think electrons, no, electrons are going through the brain and brain cells, and they're creating brain activity. And our consciousness is electrical cellular activity. When we move, our brain signals, our spinal column signals, oh, that hurts. That's more of a spinal reaction. But when we are getting to that point where electricity in water, so we're kind of a network. Now, does this help our theory? Not really. If I say this ghost thing is going off and I start having a conversation with it, make it go off if you agree with me. See, it agrees with me. Oh, that's weird. I'll take that as a yes. See, I'm reading into it. So that's kind of a debunk. But is it really measuring that? Well, I got something that might support this. Niels Bohr, the 72nd element is named borium after him. Niels Bohr, 1922, got his Nobel Peace Prize in atom structure and quantum physics. Now, what he brought to the table is, the atom is mostly space. But there's little electrons going around, and time is running out. But the electron is negatively charged. So really, these things keep a structure because these electron clouds are repelling each other like the magnet. So maybe, just maybe, that can explain a little bit of this and a little bit of maybe there is something afterwards. So I'll end it with that to hope to inspire you that, maybe there is something optimistic. Maybe Yoda was right when he apathetically said, luminous beings are we, not this crude matter. Thank you, Toastmasters.
Oh, you got to unmute again, Dr. Ken.
Thank you.
That was me.
Hey,
I heard some background.
can you unmute?
Yeah, overdone. I'm working on the schedule.
He knows
And
how to mine.
photos are in the chat. That's what I was doing there.
I mean, you are guiding the meeting, so how else to do it? But